We can walk down every talking point you could potentially give, and it's all fucking bullshit. It's all total bullshit. What standards does Ethan have to live up to? None. There are no standards for Ethan. It was going to happen any day, so why not Ethan? What's wrong with Ethan doing it? Fucking idiot. Don't piss off rich, powerful, spiteful people. That's not the justification. He's just doing it because he doesn't like that group of people. Don't criticize Ethan Klein while reacting to his content. That's the social standard that's set. It's only a short Lonerbox video. It's only about 16 minutes long. But I did, guys, full disclosure, I watched the first few minutes of this video when I first woke up yesterday, and it made me so angry, I immediately DM'd Lonerbox, and I linked this video. I said, this is a terrible video. You sound retarded whenever you talk about Ethan these days. Talk to Pisco. And he said, are we going on Lib and Learn next week? So it seems I'll probably bring it up then. I said, God bless. Thank you for the 5 gifted quality. Huge appreciate it. So, we're going to take a look at this, okay? Let's take a look.
Moral frogging about the Kaceytron, who sincerely believes.
We do love Lonerbox, though. We do love Lonerbox, okay, regardless. It's just this Ethan stuff. Apparently, he's had some retarded takes on the Venezuela stuff, too, which we'll see. We'll get into that at some point. I don't know if we'll do it tonight. Probably tomorrow. But I want to watch that Pisco debate when it happens.
Just fucking playing Warcraft and just fucking having videos on in the background and not pausing that often. Even that was like way above and beyond anything Kaceytron was doing. She just literally, she fucking just leaves videos on.
But I did have breakfast.
Who is we? Who loves Loam and Lonerbox? All of us. We love Lonerbox. We love Loam.
To what we care about, right? Yeah. So the reason why I'm isolating this and giving you.
I don't understand what Pisco wants from this. Pisco he's correct in pointing out that when Ethan said that this was to protect copyright or to set a precedent that it has to be malicious intent, otherwise, like, that doesn't really make any sense to me, because obviously you don't need any malicious intent to sue people. It makes sense in a moral way, like as a moral argument, it's okay to say that, like, yeah, I think in this social circle, it's probably okay to have a standard that if someone is maliciously talking about stealing content or from depriving you of views, like intentionally, then you should probably have less sympathy for them when they do it.
So that's like worthless. That's like a worthless statement. The idea, he's just gone from, so he has switched between two positions there, right? So it says Pisco's right about the legal point. Okay, cool. Moves on, right? So he's saying it's fine to have his first position that he's laying out is it's fine to set a social precedent that malicious reactions are not allowed. But he doesn't actually fulfill that position. He starts saying that, and then we shift into this total bullshit non-position that is just like not an opinion, not an argument, not worth shit. It's the sort of thing that his father would do if he was on Piers Morgan, trying to sound edgy but not give an actual take. Sort of that. It sounds a lot like his father in many points in this video. I've got to be honest. And he says he moves it into. We shouldn't feel sympathy. We should feel less sympathy. Now, that's nonsense. That's nothing. You're not saying anything when you say retarded shit like, I have less sympathy if you do this. That's not a position. It's not a take. It's not an argument. It's a statement of emotion. It's not something that can be logically attacked. It's not something that can be, you know, undermined in any way. It is your feeling, and it is fucking worthless. And you know someone is a pussy retard when they start watering down their takes to this level. So in this topic, Lonerbox is being a total pussy retard. Is this absolute just cowardly position where you start talking about, oh, I feel less sympathy. Diorio does it. Destiny does it. Sad to see Lonerbox doing it. Give a fucking opinion. Say something that can be attacked. It's so cowardly. So that's the first thing. Now, let's attack the actual position. So, Lonerbox thinks, or wants to say, he wants to say this, he doesn't say this, he wants to say this, but he's scared to. Lonerbox thinks there should be a social standard set that you're not allowed to do malicious reactions. Well, why not? If they're transformative, who cares if you're trying to attack the person's business? if they're doing something wrong, you should want to attack their business. When you're reacting to Tim Pool, you should want to deprive him of income because he's a terrible fucking person and he's doing terrible shit. Right? You're trying to damage his business. That's the goal. You want people to not respect him. You want people to not watch him. You want people to ignore him. So as long as you're actually producing like a legitimately transformative piece of content or engaging in like a fair way, not necessarily good faith or not, you know, malicious, but fair, maybe you could even say fair use, then we're fine with it. That should be the stance. So fuck this retarded idea of, oh, if you're doing it maliciously, no, this is like something that kind of makes sense in a different example, non-political examples, or it's XQC watching a Lemino video. You can kind of make arguments here. But the idea that when you're talking about political content, you should do it without malicious intent, retarded. Fucking retarded. Next level fucking stupid. Or drama content, so dumb. Let's carry on.
Especially with Kaceytron, because she literally is a market replacement fucking machine.
So especially with Kaceytron, because she's a market replacement machine. So because Kaceytron has infringed on copyright in the past, it's okay for her to be sued here. Not making a statement on this specific case or why she's being sued here. He's saying because of past actions, you shouldn't care about this. Again, retarded.
It's like a serial market replacement machine. The thing that's bugging me about it, though, is like you can hold Ethan to those standards and you can correct him on it. But at the end of the day, when you look at the side that he's like up against, like that group, like the Kaceytron.
Okay, so what has Kaceytron done to Ethan? What has Kaceytron done wrong to Ethan? What has Denims done wrong to Ethan? What has Frogan done wrong to Ethan? Then, once you've answered that question, which I don't think you really can, you'll say something retarded. You'll say something fucking stupid, like, oh, well, they associate with Hassan's community, and that community has been so... And you go do some retarded collective guilt by association shit. That's the first thing you might do. Second thing you might do is Denims justified CPS. She didn't. Third thing you might do is Denim's whole chat was spamming call CPS. No, it wasn't. That's an edited clip that's filtered down to include only the messages about CPS and parenting from a massive time span, excluding like thousands of other messages. So we can walk down every talking point you could potentially give, and it's all fucking bullshit. It's all total bullshit. And let's say you manage to find something. Let's say you find, well, Denim's called Ethan a Zionist, and when Denim says Zionist, what she means is genocide supporter who wants Palestinian kids to die. Does that justify financial ruination? No. And you know it doesn't, and they will never lay out their full thinking. That all Lonerbox will do for this whole video is sit there and start comparing it to Israel-Palestine, like always, saying, you know, giving us an analogy. Oh, well, what you've got to understand is, yeah, sometimes when you're in war, you don't know whether the enemy combatant is like a civilian or not, so you just have to shoot every kid in a 50-mile radius. That's like the sort of analogy that Lonerbox uses to try and excuse Ethan's behavior here, unironically. It's like he starts sounding deranged about the other topic because he's excusing so much. And that's this whole video.
You draw in Denims, all that. It's like, it's like you're, I don't know, it's just the, it's like you're watching two groups fighting, okay? You're watching two countries fighting, and one side is just firing chemical weapons non-fucking stop all over the shop, and then the other side gets a little bit fucking pissy and drops like a tactical nuke on like one part of their installation. And then the only thing you're talking about is like the fucking tactical nuke that's being used.
Oh yeah, that makes total sense.
That's
that makes total sense.
I think the behavior of the other side is like kind of the fact that they just like there's nothing that holds them to account. Like it doesn't matter how wrong they can be. It doesn't matter how.
What do you mean they've received bans from Twitch? Denims was banned for the Osama bin Laden thing. They were all banned for the Sabra Hummus panel. Do you mean they're not held to account by anything? You have literally held them to every possible account that content creators are, unless you just want them permanently banned from everything. Unless you're literally just the only acceptable solution is they are permanently banned from everything. They're all permanently banned from everything. Exactly, Ryan. What standards does Ethan have to live up to? None. There are no standards for Ethan. Every standard Ethan has set, he has broken. None of them care. All of them excuse everything. It is shameful. There have not been standards for Ethan in over 2 years.
Immoral their actions can be, or how much...
In fact, there have arguably never been standards for Ethan. You can just go back and look at how much of a scumfuck degenerate he was for the entire Kavanaugh case. And you can see it. You can see it clearly. The idea that any of them, Lonerbox, gets on stream with a straight fucking face and goes, oh, so Ethan doesn't do any of the stuff that Hassan and Kaceytron and all these evil people do? Yeah, maybe if you've only heard of Ethan in the last year, you might not think that. If you've only heard of Ethan in the last year, and you believe literally every deranged lie that he tells about Hassan because you're a fucking compromised idiot, yeah, you might think that. Yeah, you might think that. But Ethan has behaved like the most reprehensible, dirt fucking scum piece of shit by his own standards for his entire career. Calling Patrice Wilson a pedophile, comparing Ryan Kavanaugh to Harvey Weinstein, saying he runs a Ponzi scheme, infringing on Triller's copyright. It's beyond a joke. There are no standards for Ethan. There are no standards. Lonerbox will never hold him to account. Hutch will never hold him to account. Diorio certainly will never hold him to account. Thank you, Juicy Dog, for the membership. Thank you.
And call it out, like it doesn't affect them in the slightest. Like they're completely immune to all this shit. So at the end of the day, people are going to use something, and I guess Ethan used the fucking copyright lawsuit.
Oh, well, someone's going to do something, so it's fine to just do it. You know, someone was going to rape her anyway. You know, it's literally, dude, flashbacks to the Vosh argument. There's a woman in a cage in a restaurant, and they say, someone's going to rape the woman anyway. Someone's going to rape the woman anyway. Someone's going to destroy Kaceytron's life anyway. You know, Sony was just going to come along and take Kaceytron's house, actually. It was going to happen any day, so why not Ethan? What's wrong with Ethan doing it? Fucking idiot.
Example with Tim Pool is because it's your claim that you don't give a shit about the motivations, the rationales. And so I'm trying to isolate that factor to show, actually, maybe if this was against you or a person that you didn't quite like suing, maybe actually you would care about the motivation and whether they're misrepresenting it. But I would never, it feels like you're fighting the hypothetical.
But I would never do something as stupid as tell my audience, hey guys, you know, watch me watch it so we can deprive Tim Pool of a view. That's just idiotic. Like, they made themselves so vulnerable by doing that.
Why is that idiotic? Why is that idiotic? Hutch is such a retard. And notice how Lonerbox will sit here. Lonerbox just sits here ruminating about the sweeping he's doing for Ethan, and at no point gives actual commentary on the obviously 60 IQ positions that Hutch is taking here, where he's like saying, I just can't possibly engage with that hypothetical. It's just so out. I just can't even possibly engage with it. Like, it's so funny, man. It's so funny. So what does Hutch say here? What's the stupid shit he says here?
Tell my audience, hey guys, you know.
Yeah, so how is that stupid to do? It's not part of the legal standard. So how does it open you to any additional risk? There is no reason to believe that saying, I'm maliciously reacting to this, opens you to additional risk. It's a purely manufactured reasoning post hoc that Ethan has made up to try and justify the lawsuits in the public eye and try and draw a distinction between Denims and XQC.
Watch me watch it so we can deprive Tim Pool of a view. That's just idiotic. Like, they made themselves so vulnerable by doing
whether you would or not, it's a hypothetical. Why are you fighting?
You could just like, it literally doesn't matter, because he set the trap, so he had decided he was going to sue before they said that stuff. There's no way he could have known they were going to say that stuff. All that happened is they reacted, came time to decide, okay, I'm going to sue. I need to target the people I'm against and not the Asmongols, the XQCs, and anyone else. I need to come up with a standard that I can apply to these people that allows me to sue them and not the other people. Okay, here it is. They said this. That's all it is. He would have come up with some reason, if not that. And that's obvious to anyone. It just logically has to be true because he set the trap before knowing they were ever going to say anything like that. So it doesn't open you to any additional risk. There's no reason to believe that.
Up by this sort of lawsuit by a creator if they really wanted to, Loner.
Like, they made themselves so vulnerable by doing
whether you would or not, It's a hypothetical. Why are you fighting?
You could just as easily get swept up by this sort of lawsuit by a creator if they really wanted to, Loner. Yeah, I know. Like, the difference is though, is I don't use chemical weapons. Like I don't resort to fucking lying about people.
Bronx, it's in Ryan Beard's D4 vid video. It's at the end of that video.
Or even like or even if I like in terms of what harassment ever comes from my audience towards other people. My audience are a bunch of fucking knitted scars. Like there's literally nothing. The worst thing that anyone can do to me is prove me wrong about something, and then my audience will feel fucking embarrassed and be on my ass for it as well. So yeah, obviously I'm gonna feel like there's more of an injustice if someone comes after me.
Well, no, you don't understand. You can't sue me because I'm a good person, but Kaceytron's a bad person, so you can't sue her.
Tim Pool and shitting on him.
Yeah,
you could probably copyright me for that, even if I don't say it's marker replacement, even if I react meaningfully, even if I pause every 2 seconds. That can happen easily, right? I can do that. And I would feel quite pissy about him suing me, and I think it's a bit different to it coming to fucking like someone like Kaceytron, and you know it's different as well, you fucking lying retard. Like you know it's different. You're just
pressed,
like, trying to hold me to the exact same fucking standard as people who are like, you're just doing the thing.
The exact same standard as people who are what? What are they doing that means they should be held to a different standard, Lonerbox? It's people who are what? Just like total short circuit. Really think I should be held to the same standards as them? Yeah? Have you got a reason why not? Yeah? Have you got a reason why not, Lonerbox?
Again, where it's like you have to hold me to the same standard as people who break every single fucking like social norm.
Sure, what have they done? So what are they doing?
Space.
So what are they doing? So what have they done wrong?
So no, I don't think
so wait, so what norms they break? So wait, what norms they break? He's gonna give a specific example here. Surely this won't somehow turn into another analogy about Israel-Palestine that allows him to avoid saying anything specific and just give generalities and not cite anything that happened in the drama.
Loner should leave the victims of B Discord. Maybe he can be normal again.
Thank you for the $4.99, thank you.
Yeah, I'd feel upset if fucking Tim Pool sued me, and I'd be in big trouble and all that. But it's like, at the end of the day, like we all know when we react to things that we are liable to get attacked for that. We know that like what we're doing can result in someone coming to sue you. I just don't, tread in a way that's really giving people much of a reason to do it. And that's just the social understanding that we have.
Guys, just don't piss off rich and powerful people. Don't piss off rich, powerful, spiteful people. Have you ever thought about just not being critical of people more powerful than you? Guys, I don't know if you know this, but the way of the world is kind of, the strong will do as they please and the weak will suffer what they must. I think you should probably figure that out, guys. I think you should probably figure that out, don't you think? Wow, great stuff, Loner. Wow, thank you, Lonerbox. Thank you. I see why you love Israel so much.
Yeah, Hutch, even though, again, I super don't care, I would say just, like, regardless of whether or not you would, what is your motivation here and the motivation of Ethan? I think it matters a little. Like, what would you do in this situation?
If I was dumb enough to say, hey, guys, watch me watch Tim Pool, like, I don't know. I feel like...
Yeah, have you ever thought about just, like, not dressing like that? Like, they were dressed... They were basically asking for it. They were basically asking for it.
It's difficult for me to...
So no bad tactics, only bad targets. You are a...
What were they thinking? Jeffrey Epstein's a pedophile, right? And you just took a massage job from...
Fucking...
It was dumb enough to say, hey, guys, watch me watch Tim Pool. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's difficult for me to...
So no bad tactics, only bad targets. You are a fucking idiot. Like, you are so fucking stupid. No bad tactics, only bad targets. It's kind of like... It's like... The problem with no bad tactics and only bad targets... Fuck me, man. Hang on.
Short circuiting, man. Just short
circuiting. The problem with
circuiting.
no bad tactics, only bad targets, is when one group unilaterally starts
breaking going on his phone. He's short circuiting.
Starts committing every social faux pas.
Sure. So what did Kaceytron do? What did Denims do? What did Frogan do? How are they breaking? So I understand, right? If someone's like, going crazy on doxing and slander and shit, like, I understand sort of a bit of reciprocity. I understand reciprocity as a concept. That's not necessarily no bad tactics, no bad targets if you have a standard of reciprocity, right? That's not necessarily no bad tactics, no bad targets, as long as you're fully justifying that. So fully justify it. Why is this reciprocal? How is this reciprocal? What have they done to justify this?
breaking every or starts committing every social faux pas that they can to deal with their opponents, and then with no fucking prompting, right? No bad tactics, only bad targets is when someone might come to someone like me and think, well, Lonerbox, he doesn't really do personal attacks. He doesn't really.
Guys, no bad tactics, no bad targets is when you go after me. It's not when you go after my enemies. Guys, when you go after me, that's no bad tactics, only bad targets, okay? When you go after my enemies, that's chill. That's chill. That's chill. Wow, this is sounding very intelligent. I'm not gonna lie. This is sounding like high-level stuff. This is very high-level stuff here.
Really do lying. He doesn't do any defamation or underhanded tactics against people, but we're just going to use it against him because of his ideology. He's a valid target, any means necessary, whatever the fuck. But if I start responding to someone with underhanded tactics or things that like for example,
yeah, so you're talking about reciprocity there, right? So yeah, redistricting, great examples because they're available to you. That's reciprocity. Now justify that in this context, Lonerbox. What are they doing? What are they doing?
Right? If Gavin Newsom unilaterally did redistricting when the Republicans were playing fair and not going against the Constitution and not...
How's our F? Should be back.
Reinterpreting every single law against every precedent in American history to get their way, then everyone would say, what are you doing? That's no bad tactics, only bad targets. What the fuck? Why are you doing this? You literally made it an independent body for redistricting, and now you're taking it back into the partisan sphere unilaterally. But obviously, if he's doing it in response to Republicans doing it, that's different. Whereas you would go to Gavin Newsom, you understand this is the person you are, right? You would go to Gavin Newsom and say, so...
No, we're Lonerbox. They want you to say, why is it justified, okay? So what have they done? What have they done?
Oh, no bad tactics.
What is the gerrymandering here, right? We see from Ethan's side, his gerrymandering is copyright lawsuits that could take the people's entire fucking lives to force them into giving recorded apology statements, to force concessions from them, to force speech out of them, to quell their speech. So what is their gerrymandering? What is Denham's doing? What is Frogan doing? What is Kaceytron doing?
Why do you rise above it, man? Yeah, you just want people to get fucking raped. I don't know. You're just... Fuck me.
Agent hypothetical, because I wouldn't do something that fucking dumb.
Okay.
Okay, then let's... If it's so difficult to get hypothetical, let me change it. One last thing.
Yeah, he's literally so on tilt. The cognitive dissonance is so obvious. Because Lonerbox is too smart to be saying this shit, really. The cognitive dissonance is so obvious. He knows... He's just, agitated. Because he knows, if he were to be honest, it's like a fucking nightmare. It's like a total fucking nightmare that he's in this area with Ethan's fucking dick riders. As much as he tries to taper some of the edges of it sometimes, it's become more and more apparent that this is just indefensible. That it's indefensible and retarded, and you've worked yourself into a stupid position built on fucking lies that you've been telling yourself for 2 years.
Yeah. Suppose that it were the case that Ethan said, I'm suing these people because fuck them, because I want them to financially suffer, and I want to ruin them financially. And that was the motivation. Would you give a fuck?
I mean, it's not something that I would do personally.
Well, no, okay, but would you think it's a good or a bad
I'm not asking whether you would personally do it. I'm asking whether you think it's good or bad.
I don't know how to apply labels to these kinds of things.
What? Wait, okay. Now I kind of
know how to judge something.
A very easy, moral question, Hutch. Do you think it's okay to sue people because you want to financially ruin them?
Well, I don't know. It really depends on the circumstances, right? What did that person do to me?
Is there an Ethan Klein sniper pointing at your forehead right now?
Whoa!
I'll say it. Yes, it depends. I think in this situation, I don't know.
Guys, what time is Can someone keep an eye on the Game Awards and tell them when it's wrapping up and getting to whatever the world premiere is, where the Valve announcement, the alleged Valve announcement, because we'll tune in live for that and then we'll watch the whole thing on Kick.
What happened, but I don't think it's inherent.
This is no war. Stop comparing this to a fucking war. Well, the point of them not being the same is the point of a comparison.
Well, yeah, but Lonerbox, you are using it as a cop-out to avoid giving any actual fucking details. That's a silly thing to say in chat. That, oh, don't use an analogy. But Lonerbox is using analogies so that he doesn't have to talk about the topic. And it's very fucking obvious. He can't talk about the topic. He doesn't know why he thinks these things are justified. So he's avoiding it. So he just goes, oh, well, it's like Israel-Palestine. It's like that thing we all agree on, right, guys? You can just shoot Palestinian kids.
And it's an analogy. Use your... What?
Wrong to sue someone to try to financially ruin them.
All right, can we pause for a second? Is it not possible that Ethan was motivated by two things that he has been consistently pushing against?
It's just like I'm so disappointed by this video, man. Like literally, I was watching this, I was like, dude, like you are way too smart to be talking this fucking stupid and act like this much of a fucking coward. Take a position. Talk about the topic. Stop being a pussy.
It's just React content where you basically just do no effort, don't do any kind of reaction, and basically just steal content. That he could be motivated by both that and personal grievance.
Why does your audience hate Pisco so much? Probably because a lot of them are fucking Ethan fans.
Like, yeah, it's despite the video, yeah.
Because they're fucking sidecock dipshits as well. We try to keep them in line every now and then, but you shouldn't hate Pisco. What the fuck?
You asked, is it possible?
Yeah.
And I understand an is it possible question. I mean, is it logically possible?
Well,
by which I mean, does it entail a contradiction?
Does it look plausible to you that it could be both?
No, it does not look plausible to me. It does not look plausible to me at all.
Time. Segment of
I'm just gonna skip Spider's calling because Spider is like actually mentally disabled. Like that guy should be in assisted living, I think.
Right.
I'm gonna refresh see if I can take this one on.
Oh, okay, cool. But,
I'm gonna refresh my things to rejoin. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Based on that 10-minute conversation, RI, who won the Ethan Klein drama slop debate?
Not enough time passed for a winner to be declared, in my opinion. I have no idea I don't know the merits of either side. I have no idea.
Okay. Well,
all I know is Kaceytron was horrifically embarrassed. It doesn't matter if she believed what she read or not. The fact that she had to read it was just tragic to watch. It was pretty sad. I don't know if anything was accomplished by that, but I mean, you can't fuck with these big boys who have money. Like, this is kind of like America in a nutshell. If you got money, you can bring almost anyone to their knees, man.
Yeah, there's that excellent John Oliver segment on slap suits where it's like they're just using it to silence people. It's because I can.
But please keep it up. Always speak the truth. Also, do you like Black Sabbath?
Thank you for the $5. Huge appreciate it. Thank you. Black Sabbath's like okay, I guess. It's like not too far in my mind from AC/DC. It's just like kind of. That kind of classic rock that like I wouldn't really put it on generally. I like Iron Man. That's a banger. Thank you for the membership for spending money. Thank you. Thank you.
Afford litigation and lawyers. I'm going to make your life a living hell, regardless of whether or not I'm justified in doing so. And I think that's potentially a bad thing. We should do something about it. I have no idea what the Ethan Klein circumstances are. Honestly, yeah, but don't care.
But these Kaceytron and them needed to be smarter about how they went after him, and they failed miserably, so they can't really cry foul.
The thing is, people can give me that, like, if you want to make the argument for Denims or even Frogan, like, you could probably, I could probably be quite eeasily convinced of that, even for Denims' case, like, especially. I don't think I ever thought Denims was, like, one who deserved, like, getting sued in the same way. You realize...
So like, look, dude, you see how non-committal all of the statements are. I could maybe be convinced on that. I don't think I ever thought Denims was, like, someone that, like, deserved to get sued in, like, the same way. Do you think the lawsuit against Denims is justified? Yes, no, why? Do you think the lawsuit against Frogan is justified? Yes, no, why? Do you think the lawsuit against Kaceytron is justified? Yes, no, why? Well, he's about to give us some of that one. Okay, he's about to give us some of that one. But his reasoning... dude.
Is that Kaceytron is above and beyond when it comes to React stuff, right? Like, morally. There's no one who's...
Right, and that's Ethan's reasoning for suing her, right, guys? Because she reacted, right? It's not because of the things she was saying about him or because she's associated with Hassan and Denims and those other people. It's not to do with that. It's because of the React thing. It's because of the React thing. Right, that's what this was about. That's not Ethan's logic at all. You know it's not. Ethan sees Kaceytron, XQC, Asmongold. These people do about the same thing. There's not that much daylight between them. You know, I understand some XQC, maybe on average, XQC's reactions are slightly better than Kaceytron's. They both engage in the same flagrant copyright violation. And so does Lonerbox. But we'll hear why Lonerbox thinks he's actually above this. We'll think why Lonerbox is actually above this, okay?
Fucking moral frogging about the Kaceytron, who sincerely believes, even when I was fucking playing Warcraft and just fucking having videos on in the background and not pausing that often, even that was like way above and beyond anything Kaceytron was doing. She fucking just leaves videos on.
There is no difference. Or, to be honest, there's no difference in the content. To be honest, I'll just say that. There's no difference. But there's no difference legally, is what I was going to say. There's no difference legally. Like, that's not a material difference legally. You sitting there, watching, you know, whatever it is, The Rest is Politics. I just said it because I know we both love The Rest is Politics, you know. Me and Lonerbox. That's why we love Lonerbox, man. That's why we love a great podcast taste. Okay. Another reason why we love Lonerbox. You're sitting there playing World of Warcraft Classic, wiping at level 59 on hardcore. You're playing World of Warcraft Classic, wiping at level 59 on hardcore, dying to boars at level 59 on hardcore while watching The Rest is Politics. That's just as copyright infringing as Kaceytron sitting there, you know, fucking ripping a bong, going, guys, I don't really get it. I don't really get it. Every 20 minutes. It's just, you would both get sued. You would both lose. They're both incredibly strong claims if you get sued for that. It's not a material fucking difference. You're not drawing any serious standard here. You're just like, oh, I just really, really don't like Kaceytron, is basically what you're saying here. Kaceytron's just really, really bad with this. But there's no material difference. There's no line you can draw. It just, like, it really gives me, like, when I see Kaceytron do it, it just looks even worse, you know? It just looks even worse. Great stuff, man. Seriously.
On and leaves a fucking loop of herself in the corner when she's not even there. Dude. What are you talking about? Then Ethan should sue XQC. Welcome to civil law.
They all chair react. Dude, fuck's sake. They all chair react. They all do that shit.
Ethan is not the American law. Ethan should sue XQC. Welcome to civil law, idiot. Civil law is you sue who you want to sue.
But the point is that his stated aim is to protect copyright and protect the React community. Why is he not going after XQC if that's the justification? Lonerbox is using the copyright infringement, the reacting, the bad reactions as justification here. So they are saying, well then why is he not going after XQC and Asmongold if that's the justification? It's not a matter of, well, Ethan has to sue everyone. He's required to sue everyone. That's not what that chat is saying. Obviously, they're saying if copyright and the React content is the justification, how come he's not going after XQC and Asmongold? Hence, that's not the justification. He's just doing it because he doesn't like that group of people.
You sue who you want to. Ethan is not the American law, is not the American legal system. If you think that everyone should get sued or no one gets sued, then make it a criminal thing. Campaign to make copyright a criminal case rather than civil.
Like, he's just like totally not the point, retard. Not the point. Nice one, you fucking idiot.
Civil lawsuits are always going to be based on whether or not someone wants to sue someone. You understand that, right?
Yeah, and why does Ethan want to sue them? Is it because of the React? No, it's not, is it?
Yeah, I mean, like Hutch said, they literally said, I'm going to do the illegal thing, like, on a live stream. So it's like, all right, like, it's
that's not even the worst thing for me. Like, the worst thing for me, it was the dog pile. Like I don't know, Guy, if you're aware that CPS got called on Ethan's like kids and like the government showed up to his home and like I'm not accusing. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, like you can't control everybody in your audience doing crazy shit, right?
No, I'm not. To be clear, I'm not
encouraged by the creators.
It's just more evidence that his motivation is spite than you're admitting it. You're so fucking clever. You're so clever. I don't know what, like, did you just have fucking goo in your ears for the last 8 billion times where I said that Ethan was doing this to Kaceytron and there's people
So why are you using the copyright as a justification? You can't draw a material legal difference. You know it didn't play any factor in Ethan's decision making. So why are you bringing it up as a justification?
Simply because of the harassment, because of those communities? Yeah, of course he is. That's how civil... Tell me, how are civil suits not... How do they not imply? How do they not imply some degree of spite? How? You have to make the choice to sue someone. You can have 10 people fuck you in a way that is civilly liable or whatever, and it's your choice which ones you sue. Obviously, say if one of them is nicer to you or is like maybe going to have more resources and you don't want to go for them, or they just haven't given you much of a reason to be upset with them, of course you're going to sue the other ones who are just being flagrant. It's obviously, it's a human choice.
So you agree, Lonerbox? Ethan is lying about his justification for suing these people. It's actually spite-based. And the reason why he's not going after XQC and Asmongold is because it would be a strategically bad choice. Because the goal is to destroy these people for what they say and the people they associate with. So that's bad, right, Lonerbox? So now you agree with everyone else, right? Now you agree. Now you're on board, right?
Choice. That's why we have civil law.
To be clear, I'm not accusing those creators of like orchestrating that. I do think that Denims was like wildly irresponsible. There's one.
Hello, Spider.
Skip.
Well, he said one thing. That is okay to do. Like, it's as far as you want to set like some kind of social standard or a social precedent in the streamer space, that makes sense. I think it's when he stated a malicious intent. Personal standard for choosing to take the civil suit forward was because they stated a malicious intent. And
but that's not the social standard that is set. That is not the social standard that is set. As Pisco has laid out a million times so brilliantly, you know, XQC has stated malicious intent. He doesn't state it explicitly directed at Ethan, but he has said, acknowledged that he knowingly, willfully infringes on copyright deliberately to make money. He said it the whole way through. He's laid it out. The malicious intent is all there. So that's not the delineation. That standard is not being set. The standard that's being set is don't criticize Ethan Klein while reacting to his content. That's the social standard that's set.
And I think that is okay to do. Like, it's as far as you want to set like some kind of social standard or a social precedent in the streamer space, that makes sense. I think it's probably okay to do that. Like it's not going to be legal. It's not going to be the legal precedent, but for socially, like, I think it's fair. But obviously, when he's saying that it's going to protect other streamers from Disney or whoever else who come in with copyright suits, because it sets a precedent of malice having to be the intent, what makes you liable, that's not true. That's not going to change the law. Like, regardless of whether Ethan tries to set a precedent of malice or not, it's not going to change the fact that if you have something registered and you
see, this is why I always have hope for Lonerbox, man, because you can see he just can't bring himself to say the most retarded thing. You know, he can't bring himself to say the most. He can't bring himself to just not analyze the law correctly. You know. This is why I always have hope for Lonerbox. Most people can just lie through their teeth, okay? Lonerbox clearly can't quite do that. He can just be a total spineless wretch for this entire segment.
Copyright in terms of
smarter than Hutch
strict liability, as in if you do it, it doesn't matter what your intent is. So he's wrong when he's saying that. But
Keeler listening? Smarter than Hutch Award?
True that
is Keeler listening?
Like,
smarter than Hutch Award?
Or a social standard that he wants to set. So it's just, I don't know why
Another
you get
3
so
weeks.
And also, the second argument to say that these are mutually exclusive, that you're going after malicious intent, but it's also because you don't like these people. Why can't it be both? Why can't it be that you don't like these people, you want to sue them, but you also don't want to do it in a way that basically sets a social precedent that everyone could just sue anyone?
Yeah, I mean, there's been like DMCA YouTube shit like for like a while, so I don't know why like people are like asking mad about this, with the situation. Kind of weird.
Chill, man.
Do you think
I'm resigned. No videos are coming out before the end of the year. I'm resigned to it, man. Nothing's happening before the end of the year. It's all next year now.
you think it's possible for like Ethan Klein to go after like Hassan probably, or what?
Probably not, because again, that would be, he probably could legally, but morally, that would obviously undermine his standard, because Hassan didn't express a malicious intent, and Hassan was actually asked to watch the video and he reacted for like 9 hours. So that would be a big overstep if he did it with Hassan, regardless of how much Hassan can defend himself legally. Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. I feel like I think Pisco. I feel like Pisco.
Guys, so we know what the stats on the Game Awards is.
Go fuck. Okay. I feel like Ethan Klein should win harder. Okay. fucking made Kaceytron poor. Okay, he should have went harder.
Great input, Spider.
Okay. I don't know why Pisco is doing the whole fucking more grandstanding of like.
This guy is like legit mentally disabled. Why don't you call into a stream? Why don't you call into Pisco's stream instead of going on Lonerboxes where he's going to be, you know, kids clubs with you because he understands that you're like 70 IQ, total fucking drooler, but you clip his shit for free. So, you know, what's going to be? What can he do? What can he do?
Little shit, Sherlock. Come on. It's like cringe. Like it's just weird cringe. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Gotta roll a little, bro.
Okay. Well, take care.
All right.
We'll go talk to Jay Stalk, or he can come on here.
Particular stream where she.
But he won't, because like I say, he's mentally disabled. He kind of knows that. He kind of knows that. He kind of knows that he should probably be living in a assisted living facility.
Sort of like implying that it was justified and this sort of thing, but like the massive dog pile that space, like all the creators in the Hassan orbit did with Ethan and Hila was like one of the most disgusting things that I've seen in all my years on the internet.
I think Denims has turned out to be a real dumb fuck with some of the things she said. She was praising Osama bin Laden's manifesto on her stream, and then hearing that she's praising CPS getting called on somebody is ridiculous. So she just sounds like a real dumb fuck.
All right, you heard it here, folks. We are pro Denims is dumb on Lib and Learn.
Let's go.
Happy we got to
it just shows you that not the smartest people don't always rise to the top. In fact, some of the most mentally unwell people tend to become the biggest streamers.
Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, so that's that video, guys. Dumbest Lonerbox video I've ever seen. Literally so embarrassing for him that he talks like this. I know you can feel it too. It's so obvious. So it's just like, you know, I pray he sees the light. I pray he sees the light. Because it is literally retarded down to the fucking core. There is no defense. Well, but I love Lonerbox. I love Lonerbox. You guys know. We love Lonerbox, in fact. We all love Lonerbox. So I do have faith. I do have faith. Tectone is bigging up some gacha game, apparently. What's this? I bet this sucks, man. I bet it's gonna suck. Oh my god, yeah. It's fucking terrible. Jesus Christ. Overdesigned fucking bullshit. Where's this? There is some Lonerbox takes on the Venezuela stuff.
As they seize control of a massive oil tanker off Venezuela's coast. Word of the mission, the surprise mission.
You didn't respond to because you haven't fucking made one, you idiot. Make an argument. Tell me why it is bad to seize an oil tanker that is being used to support the IRGC, to support terrorist activity. Tell me why that's bad. Tell me why that's bad to not let these fucking organizations fund their practices.
I mean, is it not that there's like zero basis in international law for doing this? Right? It's bad because the process hasn't been followed. No process has been followed. It's just an act of aggression against a nearby country. It's sort of like if like, can we imagine maybe if there was like a massive super powerful country that sort of like outweighed all of its neighbors, and it said something like yeah, one of our neighboring countries has a corrupt government infiltrated by Nazis, and they're using it to fund, you know, their Nazi activities. So we need to do a special military operation to go in and prevent aggression from other international bodies and denazify this region. You know, like if someone said something like that, you'd probably be against it because it's just like a bigger country taking massive steps to impede on the sovereignty of a smaller country, representing a massive breach of the international rules-based order. That's what you might think about it in a different situation. I'm not quite sure why it's not landing here. Probably because they're communists or something, I would guess. Well, Hassan's upset about Trump attacking Venezuela, so it's probably a good thing, right?